So this is a walkthrough of the BYD Seals Infotainment touchscreen. When we first get in the car, we press and hold the brake pedal and press the start button. I've got a nice tip coming up. You can see my phone is connected, so I've already set that up with Bluetooth. This is the native app as we see it, and so you've got navigation, and the screen is pretty responsive. If you want to navigate to charging stations, you could do that. Spotify is there front and center, and you can connect your Spotify account and use Spotify through the native setup here. Good to see that we have the ventilation and air conditioning is there at the bottom, and as we move through the screen it stays there, so that's very useful. The party trick is this rotate, and people have suggested that this is better for navigation, as we tend to want to be moving up the map. There's also a button on the steering wheel that will do that. I have heard that Android Auto and Apple CarPlay do not work in portrait mode. There's radio as well. So we've also got a back button, a home button, pause button. Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, and you can see if I was to put my phone down here that the wireless charging is working fine, but the Apple CarPlay requires a USB to start. Now, I was hoping that would just be the first time you use it, but it seems to be that you need to have your phone plugged in, and I don't know what that does in terms of the charging. I suppose if you have a very big phone. So then you've got access to your Apple CarPlay. You can have navigation, you can have split screens, etc. I quite like Plug Share as an app, Google navigation. But let's go back to the native screen. Don't really need my phone there, take that away. So if I click on Spotify, it's not connecting, and I'm not sure why that is, because it was working yesterday. Back button, music, Bluetooth. It seems to be working over Bluetooth. You've got various images, and you can access this also from the steering wheel as well. One thing that I quite like about the camera system is with my MG electric car, the cameras would switch off if you were going too fast, but the cameras on the BYD, whatever speed you're doing, and it's quite nice to have a camera display of what's going on behind you, or a bird's eye view or a panoramic view in front of you. So it's so I think what most people are interested in is the car controls. So let's go into the car controls now. And so we've got internet there, personal hotspot. My phone is connected. Now the audio settings, Dynaudio is the sound system, and you can adjust the way that that it works, so that's quite nice. And there's different sound setups. I quite like the dynamic one. To be honest, the sound system in this car is phenomenal. I really do enjoy it. Nice to see a separate volume control for media, phone, and the voice. When you ask information from BYD, to set the volume for that separately, so that's a bit more sophisticated than you usually see. Display. I've selected the dark theme here, but you can have light theme, which is a bluer color, but I prefer the dark theme. Auto will change between the light and the dark depending on the time of day, and you have a screensaver as well. Software. Looks like there's an update that's available. I won't mess with that yet. That all seems to be set up. So let's have a look at the next system, the ADAS. And I've switched a lot of the assistance off because I actually find all the bongs quite annoying. High beam assist, I'm going to leave that. The lane support system, I've got it all switched off. The alerts are annoying, but when it tries to grab control of the steering wheel when it thinks you're driving off your lane, that's really quite scary when that happens, so I switched that off, so I'm more comfortable with it. The traffic sign recognition, I've switched that off. The problem basically using it in Thailand is that you will get a single speed sign that will come up, say 50 kilometers an hour near a school, and then you won't get any other signs after that telling you're back at the 120 or whatever it is, and then you get constantly nagged that you are doing over 50. So I've just switched that off. The driver attention warning, it just is a little cup of a picture of a cup of a coffee cup, and it just pops up to say looks like you could do with the brake. I've left it on standard, but might as well switch it off. Certain of these things you can't do while the car is driving. They have to be done when it's actually parked up. Active safety. Predictive collision warning, I've got that switched off. Automatic, I'm sure I switched that one off, but some of these things you can only do when you're actually parked. Yeah, I've got these all switched off for now. Parking sensors, panoramic image. So the next one, new energy. So this is the performance. So this one is four-wheel drive, and the intelligent torque adaptive control basically manages torques to send power to whichever wheel needs it. I've left it on for now. Energy manager. This I believe is the regen braking, so I've set that to high, and I quite enjoy driving it. I drove it for the first time yesterday with the high setting for regen. It seemed to work quite well. I'm not sure that it brings the car to a complete stop, but it seemed to work quite well for me. And I've got the range display in dynamic, so it's going to monitor my driving and tell us you know, what the range is based on the way I'm driving. This anti-theft lock, that's basically if you want to charge your car and prevent people from stealing your charging cable or unplugging you. However, if you want to use the vehicle to load system, you have to disable that. So that's why it's currently disabled. So the smart charging, you can set the charging for certain times if you have a cheaper rate, and that gives you some information. So the car has driven 97 kilometers, and vehicle settings, steering assist mode. I've been driving it in comfort, but you can change that to sport. Brake assist mode, I have to say I'm not really sure what that is. Comfort parking, that one I don't know either. Oh, colours, bit of purple maybe, and the ambient lighting can be changed. Dynamic colours, I assume that will move with the music, but we'll see. I'll have to play with that one. We can adjust the headlight height, a couple more features there. The heads-up display, this is quite useful if there's two of you driving. My Thai wife is quite a bit shorter than I am, and the HUD we need to set the level, and you can set the height of it, because if the HUD cannot be seen if you're not looking directly at it, so it's quite useful to be able to adjust it for that. So we need to find a level that works for both of us. Mirrors, auto fold, flip while reversing means that as you're backing up, the mirrors will just drop to give you a better view of the lines. I haven't looked at the greetings, so I'm not sure what that is. It can adjust the AC and the fan speed during a call, which is quite good. Remote controlled air conditioning running time, so you can switch the aircon on from the remote, so that's quite good. You haven't got to go into an app and fiddle around. You just basically switch it on, and the car will just start up and the air conditioning will run, and you can set how long it will run for. Seat adjustment, okay, position 1, position 2. So we have two memories. I'm not going to fiddle with it now, but so this is where you'll set up the seat memory situation. Ventilation and heating, and it's a shame that it doesn't remember this, but so you've got heating and cooling for the driver and the front seat passenger, and I have to say it is really quite effective, so I do like that, but it is buried a little bit in here. Doors and windows, trunk opening height. So if you've in a situation where opening the boot, as I'm British, too high would hit something, then you can obviously change that. And there's various settings here that you can play with. Notifications, I haven't played with those. And then the vehicle health, it's countdown to when the next service is due. Vehicle information, and it will do a little check complete, status good. Okay, that seems to be just about everything on the information that you get on the infotainment screen.